Some novels entertain you, some impress you. Pachinko is a novel that follows the lives of ordinary people across four different generations and shows without exaggeration how history shapes their choices. This is definitely not a dramatic novel, it's a patient one. And that patience is exactly why it stays with you. Everybody these days is into Korean dramas. I, for one, have chosen to go with a Korean book. So we are going to review Pachinko, written by Min Jin Lee, in this short video. The book is really about a multi-generational family saga set in 1910 to 1989. The story follows a Korean family's four generations, as I just said. It begins in Korea under Japanese occupation and then follows the family's migration to Japan, where they live as unwelcome outsiders. There are no heroes in the book. It follows the lives of very ordinary people while they let their lives' difficulties and vagaries throw them around and still manage to stay afloat. But it shows how endurance and not heroism carries most lives forward. That is where the book quietly shines. It works by accumulation of choices, of compromises, and of, more important than anything, consequences. The story opens with Sunja, who is the daughter of a poor crippled fisherman who meets a wealthy and stylish fish broker. Their assignations, romantic meetings between each other eventually lead to her becoming pregnant and giving birth to a child called Noah. She then marries a sickly Christian minister who came to stay in their house as a paying guest because the fish broker had left her. And then she moves to Japan with this Christian minister, where they face intense racism and a lot of unwelcome otherization, which was typical back in the day in Japan as far as Koreans were concerned. The book then meanders through their trials and tribulations till the 1980s, giving us a rich and arresting tapestry of characters, events, places, and experiences. I would say there are three things which make this book very powerful. The first, I would say, is the dignity under pressure. The characters are not chasing greatness. They are just trying to survive, but with self-respect. The second thing which I felt was really arresting in the book for me, definitely, while I was reading it, was the identity and displacement. So those who may have felt like they were a neglected minority or faced racism of any kind in their lives will definitely connect with this book because there's a lot of it in it. It deals with characters who feel they did not belong anywhere fully. It shows the undercurrents of pain that they experience, and that realism is something very powerful about this book. The third thing I would say is the weight of history in the book. The history in the book is neither direct or loud. The book itself is highly edifying. And involuntarily, while you read the book, you realize that you have automatically acquired so much knowledge about the times that the book survives through, the Japanese occupied Korea and the kind of discrimination Koreans felt and faced in Japan when they were living there as expats. All of these are very rich historical lessons that one should learn, and this is a part of history that has somehow been rather ignored, at least by the West. So this book now introduces all of us to this very exciting and important, indispensable historical events which have happened in the 20th century Japan and Korea. I would definitely be remiss if I didn't state that there have definitely been moments where I smiled, moments where I felt deep sympathy, and moments where I had to just sit upright in shock, and that happened in several places across the book. Min Jin Lee uses very simple and lucid language. There is no effort to show some kind of linguistic flourish or ornamental language by using bombastic words. The writing just flows through the pages and it takes you through the plot very eloquently without much effort. And that is where the beauty lies. It's definitely not a quick and fast-paced novel, but still it reads like a page turner. And there is no effort to showcase some kind of linguistic prowess. It is very simple language which is employed to say a story about ordinary people. But there have been many places where I had to search for highlighters to highlight a lot of different sentences, aphorisms, sayings, and different kinds of nuggets that the author has left interspersed through the pages. For instance, there was one place where it said, "In the end, your belly was your emperor." That somewhere struck me. People, I think, from lesser privileged backgrounds will definitely relate what kind of mountains they have to move just to put some food in their belly and to have a livelihood. There are many such places in the book where you would certainly search for a highlighter so that you can highlight a lot of these portions and revisit them in the future. The writing is controlled and deliberate. The book avoids moral instruction and lets consequences speak for themselves. While it is definitely edifying, Pachinko doesn't even ask for your sympathy. It just lays the facts of life bare and steps back. And that's where the beauty lies. This is one of those books where I hardly have anything to say against. Min Jin Lee has spent about 30 years researching and writing this book. There's also an interview on YouTube where she jokes that she's one of the fastest writers on the planet because she has just took 30 years to write this particular masterpiece. But in any case, her effort is really commendable. She has traveled to Korea, to Japan, to various other places to interview people from all walks of life in order to gather the information and knowledge required to write this masterpiece. This is perhaps why the book feels so real and genuine. Some may at times find it slightly slow-paced, and at times there could be some emotional distance, but I'm sure that they would soon understand that the same was deliberate and properly engineered to only carry the story forward, and that the same was very much restrained. Apart from these minor reservations, which I am now being forced to let out, Pachinko remains a masterful and deeply considered novel. My conclusion is definitely read it if you like character-driven novels based on simple and ordinary people and perhaps set in history. At 480 pages, it is definitely not a small, short book, but that's where the book is very interesting. You stay with the book patiently, and then the book will remain with you forever. To end the review, I would just say Pachinko reminded me that most lives are not about triumph. They are about endurance. So if you have read this book, I would love to know what you would think about different characters. Which is the character that you loved the most? Feel free to comment down below, and please do subscribe to my channel as well.